Hello, everyone. This is Ronnie, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and that's Chad, the salty old one, Golden Finger Picker, coming to you from Florida. Picker's Church. Know it's been a while, but we're back having some fun Tuesday nights. Talk some eBay, talk whatever else. What's going on, Mr. Chad?
Oh shoot, I was getting double the sound because I forgot to mute the other one. Luckily I have headphones in. Did you say something?
No, just how
Oh,
you
we're
been
getting a
doing?
good start.
How's everything been going on, brother?
Good. Finally, glad to see you finally are starting this back up. It seems like for the past 2 months I've been asking you, when you gonna do it? When you gonna do it?
Well, the holidays
But
and then
it's
vacation
yeah.
and everything. I didn't want to start and do like 3 or 4 days and then or 3 or 4 weeks and then stop and then restart. So I was just like, you know what? Start after the year.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, tonight's video is sponsored by Janet and James, the Mummy and the Monkey.
You know, I seen that when you came
Isn't
in
that pretty cool, man?
the
This is
video.
some really good uh, branding. I mean, that is just quality stuff there. I really like that. They sent Kim and I both one, and while they never asked us to promote them or anything like that, I think it's just they're really nice people and they're interesting to watch. So there are a couple that resell and they have a little side gig of hosting horror films. So they're doing something that they love to do, and why not support it? It's fun to watch. So, but yeah, really cool shirts, really cool shirts. And I want to thank them for sending if they're watching or if they're watching the replay or whatever. But yeah, cool.
Catch it on the replay.
Yeah, things have been good, Ronnie. I know we're going to be talking about eBay tonight. I went through my eBay store. I'll get into that later. So, um,
I went to my eBay store today too. I knew
yeah.
I was supposed to list some vintage shoes and I got sidetracked and it said I went into my eBay store and I decided that it's that time for auctions. I run to 59 auctions to end Sunday.
Oh,
I
well,
just
last time you did pretty good on doing that. I mean, you had a
I don't
lot of
know.
stuff to ship.
I was just like some stuff. I'm gonna try it and maybe like every week because eBay when you have the store they give you so many what is it so many free auctions. Like I'm losing it here and I don't even know why. It's so easy. We're talking about auctions, and it's just some of the stuff I've had like a year plus, and it's like it's gotta go. It's gotta move. Like it's just gotta go. I can get more stuff. I can buy better stuff.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, yeah, we got a ton of people in the chat tonight. We've got wow, we got Chris, the walking picker. Chris put out a video earlier. He told me he was gonna do it, and he said he was gonna do it before ours. So I figured an hour before ours. So I went to go look and it showed he'd already done it. It's like, man. So I guess he did it early. But we got walking picker in here, Jennifer Pelletier, Mr. Sadie. What's going on, man? Goody Goods 01. Did you see that lame? Yeah, I saw that video. Man, I told him he needs to continue making them. That was a real success. So we got Bill and Carol at Billowtex, a couple of thrifters. Hello, Brian the Oak Brook Picker. Why do people have to come up with these names that are like get your tongue
That one
twisted?
always gets me too. That one I try to say it, and I want to say Oak. What is it? The band Oak.
Oak Ridge Boys.
Yeah. The only thing
Yeah.
I start thinking of the Blues Brothers, and I go down like
Yeah.
this bad train of thought.
Yeah, we got a ton of people in there. I can never say his name right. Casarella.
Oh,
Jim
I'm not
Terra
be
Carey.
saying his name. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Old to New Treasures. Hi, Karen. Um, Nikki, the Poplar Picker. Yeah, she sent everybody to my channel for tonight instead of your channel. So hopefully people could put two and two together and find us. And Glow Watcher, Don Maserati. Yep. There's the mummy and the monkey. What's going on, guys?
That's an interesting name. The ghost face picker.
Yeah.
Chad has no idea either why I'm laughing about that one.
The ghost face picker.
It's off of a rap group.
Oh,
One of the members, Ghostface Killer.
okay.
I don't know, dude.
The lunch break picker. Let me guess. That person goes out on his lunch break and picks. Miami reseller. Hey, hey. There's Henry. Good old Henry. He's coming here tonight. The Comfortable Life. Hello. There's Angie. Treasured Vintage. Time to clean up our language and everything. Andy is coming to town. Shunka Cody. It's Shunka Cody. Wow.
Sugar Cody. Sugar Cody.
Yes. Jules says, hi guys, I live in Arizona and need more storage. Do you think storing clothing in a travel trailer would be okay in this hot weather? It's cheaper than a storage unit in the long run. Ronnie, you'd be able to answer that about clothing.
I mean, we had our clothing stored in a storage unit all summer long, just because of we had family and stuff for the summer, and we gave up that bedroom. But we did put it back. I didn't see any issues, but we bag everything. Nothing was left to the elements, so if you do it that way, it might be okay. You know.
Oh. Nikki says, Chad, maybe you should have a beer. Might help pronouncing things better. Actually, now that we're talking about it, I just opened it. It's the first time I've ever tried this. It's called Wild Blue Premium Blueberry Lager. Premium Blueberry Lager. It is 8% alcohol. Oh, let's put a couple of these down in 5 minutes.
No popcorn tonight. There'll be no roasting of anybody. We'll save that for once a month.
Yeah.
You guys can vote who we go after next. No, I'm just kidding.
Unless they want to show up in the chat, and then we'll be happy to. But Ronnie, it's 2018, dude. Already.
Yes, sir. And I still keep writing 2017 on everything.
Yeah, right, Ghostface.
So what about it being 2018?
Dude, I'm not one, and I think you know this. I'm not one to say, okay, we've got big plans for 2018. Okay. That's for our years before. Okay. Now we're in the cruising mode, I guess you could say. But there are some things I do want to do. One of the things I want to do is totally redo my office. Okay. Ever since I've been on YouTube, I've always had my cool things behind me and stuff like that. I think I'm going to go with just a background that's not so, I don't know, busy, if you know what I mean. But I think I'm going to do that. And with eBay, I mean, we've been talking about this quite a bit. What I'm looking to do is concentrate more on higher end items that give us a higher profit margin. While we've been doing that, of course, there's still always going to be bread and butter, no doubt. There's going to be things that we're going to be passing on that we might not do as much of. For instance, one of the things is, unless some super thing comes out, but we probably won't be dealing in stuff like Nerf guns anymore. While I do have a couple, I mean, there is good money in Nerf guns, guys, without a doubt, but I don't have an issue with finding good items to sell. So there's going to be certain types of things we'll probably cut out and just, garage sales will probably just pass on. Nerf guns is probably going to be one. I don't think I can ever get rid of stuff like the Polaroid cameras. I'll pick up Polaroid cameras. I don't know, and I probably will till I die because they're so small. They're such quick sellers, and I might consider doing some Nerf guns if they're like customized, because there's some big money in customization of these Nerf guns for like cosplay and stuff like that. But just the typical stuff that, you see, I'm probably going to pass it up, because right now, even the long shot, like the sniper rifle ones, they just don't bring the money they used to. And I don't know. It's just not something I don't know.
I've never been a big fan of Nerf guns. Like, I look at them, and I've bought some like that are new and sealed and sent them into Amazon. But
Yeah.
as far as like just Nerf guns in general, especially those larger ones, I don't want to ship them. That's my
Yeah.
thing. I'm all about what I can ship, you know what I mean, and not take up a lot of space, especially since we left the warehouse behind. There's no more. I mean, there's big things, but
Yeah.
I just dropped off a 6-foot John Deere sign today to another person that's going to bring it to somebody in New Hampshire, and they're going to find a way to get it to Wisconsin. And it's like, thank God I didn't have to ship that thing. I have the plywood and the 2x4s and the foam board to do it, but it just takes time. And is it worth it?
Well, speaking of, like I've always talked about, like if you go to my eBay store, you'll find stuff that's like $3, and you're like, would I typically waste my time on something that's $3? No way, I wouldn't. But if I have 100 or 1,000 slides that I can process really fast, I can do it. I mean, I have slides right now probably between $5 and $20. So, and I am continuously selling those. So it's not something that I'll list and be like, okay, I want these to sell fast. I know it's not going to happen. But I did recently. Oh, shoot.
It's going down.
I did recently in an online auction. I won a lot of vintage taxidermy eyes, and I got them, and I went through, and they were in this thing, and they have a bunch of different things. So what I did is I went through and I paired them all up, and I have well over 40 pair of taxidermy eyes. And I went through, and taxidermy eyes are measured in millimeters. That's the way the measurement is done. So what I did was I had never messed with this stuff before, so I did a little bit of research, just enough research to figure out what I need to do. I went online. I printed out a millimeter ruler. Okay, so I have this millimeter ruler. Hold on, is it in here? No, it's not in here. I have a millimeter ruler that I printed out off the internet. Oh, here it is. I just printed it off the internet, and it also has an inch side. And what I did was, when I printed it, I verified that the inch was actually an inch in real measurement. So what I did was, for instance, here's 2 eyes. Okay. Here's typically the vintage taxidermy eyes, they will come with wires because they're glass. Okay. And they'll come with wires on the back. But these are these are dark brown with black pupils. And what I did is I went through each one, took pictures of them, and then I measured them. So I have all the pictures, and I put them in bags. So this is number 33, and these are 8 millimeter. So what I'll do is once I got all of them listed. I mean, all of them pictures taken. And so now what I'll do is I'll go through. It probably won't even take me an hour to list all 40 sets of them, because it's going to be the basic same thing. I'm just going to change the the size of them and uh, the the color. And it was a good deal because I paid $70 for the entire thing full of them. And typically the vintage, they'll sell for the common sized ones, you know, from $6 to $20 pretty easy. So I'm thinking $10 a pair, and at 45 pair, that's $450, and I've got $70 into them. So excited about getting into stuff like that. The postcard lot that you sold, 1,300 postcards, that would be really fun to dive in and get to learning and stuff like that. So what's that, $350? What the hell? 45 pair at $10 a pair is about $450.
Yes, sir. The postcards, I mean, they're interesting. I just lost, what do you want to call it, motivation to list them. And I was like, these things gotta go. They've been sitting around for a while. I have more somewhere. I don't even know where they are. I think they're in the storage. Because when we had the warehouse, I listed those. I mean, we haven't had the warehouse in, it's been about a year right now. I think on the, or no, coming up on the 17th, I think we left. So,
Robbie Hull says the postcard lot he picked through before he sold it. Is that true? I don't think that's true.
wait, what?
You didn't pick through those postcards before you sold them, did you? No,
No,
you just grabbed some and just listened to see how they would do. But no, he didn't pick through them.
I didn't even, I only sold like maybe 5 of that lot. I just tried. They were abroad and I was, from other countries and I couldn't focus on it. It was not my cup of tea. But nobody went
Oh,
through them. That
yes. Aaron Austin says, Chad, I know a few Facebook groups, those eyes would sell on probably quickly, faster than eBay. There might be. I haven't done any type of research. I know people, one thing I did find out is a lot of people use them in teddy bear making as well, or stuffed animal making. So, taxidermy, teddy bear would be good uh,
keywords.
keywords. And what's really important is they are glass. So they're not plastic, and they are vintage glass eyes. So
Yeah, we had
yeah,
a question over here from me. Are you still going to get an RV and travel? The way we're leaning at it, we're going to move eventually sometime this year. And I believe we're going to move to Florida. We're going to get an RV once we do move. But I think we're going to kind of maybe change it around a little bit to go on road trips for like 2 or 3 weeks, go to auctions and stuff with the RV, and then come back and, then list stuff and then go back out again, maybe to a different part of the country. And I think it may be more feasible. I'm not sure. We might do it the other way. It just depends on like which way the wind flows, around that time. It's just one of those things. And then we had
yeah.
another question here about if we have had the resale rally location and date yet announced.
We do have the location. We're looking at Orlando. We were going to be doing it in February, but with my back injury, it really stumped our planning of it. So Kim and I are doing the majority of the planning because it's our area we're hosting this year. So yeah, we had to put that on the back burner. But yeah, we're looking at as of right now, we're looking at Orlando June-ish, July-ish. So we're really excited about it.
Yep. And then we had another question here. Do you guys do promoted listings, and what do you think about them?
Don't mess with them.
I have, and I don't even know how they've been playing out. I think I did like 5%.
Isn't promoted listings mostly newer stuff, new stuff?
You can do it on anything now.
Oh, okay.
You just set the. Let me see here. Where the hell do you go? Marketing, promoted listings. I think you could only do 500 at a time. It's telling me here my recent campaign that started on the 25th runs to the 31st of January. I don't know why I ran it like that, but 400 items were listed, 9 sold, and sales amounted to $548. And they
Oh, right
accumulated
on.
$38 of fees for that. So
Yeah. Guys, the reason why we picked Orlando, we want a centralized location, easy to get to from the airport. And when you get into someplace like Orlando, there's a lot of competition. And we would pick that so the better deal we get, the better deal we can give to everybody else. We're not
yeah,
known for making a ton of money off of this thing, so the rally. So yeah,
just thinking about that though, the airport is not really near anything. Just that we went to the airport to pick up Gretchen's father. It's not kind of near anything in particular. It's just thrown out there in the. It's a nice newer airport. It's a pain in the
well,
ass to
they
get around.
when Kim talked to the places, they said that they have everything, free shuttles and everything to the airport. So I'm
Well, they all
assuming it
have
was,
shuttles, yeah. And most of them
yeah,
do have shuttles, but I was just like, I was kind of surprised. And they had all these toll roads, and I got a nice little thing. I just kept on going right through them.
yeah.
I get
Well,
a bill when I get to the house in the mail, $21. Your
somebody said
son passed toll bill.
somebody said Orlando's very expensive to hold events. An expensive place to hold events is Schaumburg. That's like one of the most expensive places in the country. But so far, what we've the places we've talked to, considerably less than Schaumburg. So uh, yeah, I know it all depends on the time of year and everything else. So, but there's a lot of competition, they will cut each other's throat to get the business. So
There's definitely a lot of hotels, and depending on the time of year,
yeah,
you can make some nice deals. Yeah, it beats Chicago, and I know it beats here. Unless people want to come to Massachusetts in the middle of winter time, and after
yeah.
last week it was 0 degrees and frozen ocean. Ocean was frozen. Nobody wants to come up here. There was a question here. When your eBay account has 200 feedback, would you say sales were slower compared to your feedback score as of now? You know what? When I had about 200 feedback, I would say I was fine. I would say once you get probably over 50, 100, you people don't look at you as that new seller unless but you do take a bigger hit. Um, you know, you do take a bigger hit if you get a negative.
Oh
If
yeah.
you get 1 out of 50, like 95%, it kind of sucks.
Why don't you go the VFW route? Because there is no VFW that can hold this many people and accommodate this many people. And the best deal is to have a hotel so people can actually stay there. They don't have to drive. They don't have to worry about getting to a hotel I mean, it's all right there. And if you can get in a place that's exclusive, everything is there that people would need. That's generally when you have people coming in from out of town, out of state, that's what you want. If you're holding like a local thing, sure, the VFW would be a great route. And as you probably know, if you know anything about VFW, if you're a member, then you can have the hall for free. So, but yeah,
And thanks, Mr. Krillin, for the super chat.
yep.
Only thing I know about a VFW is people go there to drink. That's all I know.
No, there's actually more to it than that. It's a great organization.
Cheap drinks.
And cheap drinks. Yes. And cheap drinks. But we were talking about eBay, and I was telling Ronnie earlier, I do not think that we went to a single yard sale in 2017. I mean, we may have stopped at one or something like that, but we never got up and said, okay, we're going to hit yard sales. And for us, that's huge, not doing that. Um, and Kim, I think Kim actually says, yeah, that sucked because we love yard sales, but we also have, we had so much stuff from these estates that we got, and it's just could keep us busy. And, but yeah, I was looking at my eBay store, Ronnie, and, if somebody that, just wanted to check me out, it's like, let me see what kind of seller Chad is. If they went right now and looked at my items for sale, I would not be impressed looking at my store with the items because they're typically long tail, cheaper items that, like my slides or Starbucks mugs, or I mean, just all this stuff that we've listed that we know it'll eventually sell. But all my high quality and all my high end items, my good quality stuff sells quickly after I list it. So as we go over months, and with my back getting messed up, we just weren't getting out. I wasn't doing much listing. And I was looking at my store today, and it's like, man, there is not crap in my store. There is nothing in my store. And so I'm like, man, I need to get some of this stuff listed today. So this morning I got up and I'm like, okay, I listed a brand new Kevlar I had. That's $100 and something bucks. I listed that, and I don't know, listed some pretty a lady's leather Harley Davidson jacket. That's good money. Yeah, I mean, so I just let it get to scraps, man. And while stuff was selling, like I think I only have one of these left that I had gotten and cleaned up and listed. They sold off, and the stuff is just, all my good stuff literally is sold. So I need to get more good stuff listed. And it with us, it's really simple math. If we list, we sell. If we don't list, we kind of sell, and it trickles in, and you'll have some decent sales. But every time I list anything over $100, pretty much it goes pretty fast. And that's what we like to do. So most of our good stuff is literally sold. So if you want to get an idea of the stuff that we sell, go look at our solds. We don't hide them from you. So
Yeah, it's funny because everything I sell that sells for good money almost always sells quick.
yeah,
Like the vest I sold for $1,100 sold in minutes of listing. I sold in an hour. The Griswold frying pan I sold for $1,400 sold within 8 hours, I think, and I slept on it. I got the bid just before I went to bed, 1,400, and I said, "Oh, we'll sleep on that and see if something comes in." And people were like, "How could you do that?" And I'm like, "Don't need it. It's
yeah,
it's there. It's not going to go away. It's no different than the vest I turned down $1,000 at first." Rudy was like, "What? You did turn that down?" I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah." But I mean, I want to thank Bargain Hunting also for the bargain bargain shopping for the super chat. We did have a question here. Where was it? Where did it go? Oh, there it goes. Where would you pick basically yard sales or estate sales, or is there anything else that you love to enjoy picking, getting your stuff from?
I'm sorry, I'm answering a
Oh,
question.
yeah.
Yes, the Selena Festival does happen every year. It's in Corpus Christi, Texas, and it changes times throughout the year. I think it might be June this year. Maybe I'm trying to think when we went. I think it was June or July. So or May. I don't know. But all you got to do is look it up. I mean, it's not hard to find. And yeah, we need to start planning to go this year. I'm sorry. What was the question, Ronnie?
Question was basically yard sales or estate sales. Where would you go to pick? What do you like the
Oh,
best?
man, if I could have an estate sale every day, I would do estate sales. No doubt. Yeah.
Estate
Uh,
sales are more high quality stuff usually.
yeah. Yeah.
I love estate sales. I mean, that is, I love yard sales too, especially in the northeast because you go to yard sales, you find old stuff there too. You could find anything as that stuff doesn't always make it down. You know, people empty their house before they go to Florida, unfortunately, a lot of the time. So, but auctions, I think, even better than that. I love auctions.
Oh, don't get me going on auctions. But yeah, I think estate sales, guys. I think estate sales tends to scare off um, the lower the guy that's looking for the garage sale prices. It'll scare him off, and I'm okay with that because most of the time you'll see the people who do really good at estate sales with really good items are paying up a little bit, and that's one of the things I've said. I don't know. It seems I'm talking more and more and more about it. Don't be scared away by a higher price because a lot of times, just because it's higher price doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of room to make a profit. And I think it just scares a lot of people off. And pretty much what it does is it thins the herd. It really does. It thins out your competition before you even walk in the door because people are just intimidated by estate sales and the pricing of estate sales. And sometimes they are just flat out too high.
Estate sales used
But
to frighten me.
ah,
I used to get
yeah,
there, dude, the line and you get in the house and they let 60 people in a house or 70 people in a house. You have 70 people in a house trying to look and go after things can get a little hectic, get a little crazy. It's why me and the wife go together. It's kind of we can cover a lot more ground. It's
yeah,
like, okay, you go that way, I go this way, and you know, one of us will see something in the pictures I want and this, that. Okay, you go here, I go here, and see anything else in the middle, let's meet.
yeah. In
But
estate sales, you need to be ready to make a decision pretty damn quick. Garage sales, you do have a little bit more time, but you need to have a game plan going into an estate sale. If you going in just to freaking browse, then I don't know. You might as well just turn around and walk out the door.
yeah, there's a lot of it's just fun. I mean, and that's where I find a lot of. I mean, a few months ago, I don't know so much stuff. I mean, I've already made a few $1,000s off of stuff I've got, and I got still stuff selling out of that estate sale I went to, and I still got a printer that I should get $500 or $600 for that's not listed. Gretchen Kez says she knows how to test it and hasn't
Yeah.
tested it yet.
Here's a good question from Adam A517. Chad, I know Ronnie does bins. You do? Okay. Do you do auctions and what's your philosophy with starting points ending?
Oh, buy it now.
Oh, auctions. Oh, buy it now. Okay. I'm like,
I was like, dude, I don't do the bids. I
does
don't know
Ronnie
what
go to
that's
the
all
bins? I
about.
don't think he goes to the bins.
I was like, wait, he's talking about auctions. Buy it now. I get it.
No, I do not do auctions. I've got a bad track record with auctions, but I my philosophy on auctions is, and I'm talking to new resellers because when Ronnie and I come on here, we really are trying to, when we say something, we want to make sure that we're talking to somebody that might be watching us for the first time, thinking about getting into reselling, or they're just getting on eBay or something like that. But my advice, if you're going to run auctions, is your starting price on your auction needs to be a price that you are okay with if that's what it sells for. In other words, if you have this really cool resell Killer's box knife with a custom box resizer thing on it. If you got one of these and you're like, okay, I want this thing, it's a $50 knife, okay? And if you want to get $50 out of it, I would not recommend starting this out at $4.99 auction. If you want $50 out of this knife, then you need to start that auction out at $49.99 or do a buy it now, because anymore, I think it's been proven time and time again that realized auction prices, okay, or the results of completed auctions are considerably less than what buy it now sales go for. So if you're going to run auctions, then you need to start your auction out at a price that you're happy with accepting. Or if you think that wouldn't bring much traffic, then just do a damn buy it now. That's my philosophy on it. I don't mess around with auctions because nowadays people don't like to wait. People don't like to wait 5 to 7 freaking days. I'd rather, if there's an auction and the bid's at $49.99 and it ends in 5 freaking days, and here's another item that's at $65, I'm probably just going to buy the damn $65 one because I don't want to wait 5 days. I don't want to wait 5 days. Now, if one day auctions would come back and really be super popular, that would be fun. They should let us do free one-day auctions because I think that will bring the hype back and the excitement of auctions. But nobody wants to wait a damn week for it to end. No.
Well, that's why they went back to doing. I mean, that's why most people do buy it now. eBay was built on auctions, but over time, Amazon maybe with the whole, buy something, send it out, get it in, 3 days, 2 days, whatever they call it. I think it's just the whole, I want it now. I want it. I don't want to wait.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm running auctions is just to clear some stuff out. Kind of basically some of the stuff I've had a long time. And it's like, I'm just looking at it and I do this every 3, 4, 6 months. I might run a bunch of auctions just to say, see you later stuff. Gotta go. Gotta clear, gotta make some room. And that's all about it is. Somebody did ask.
Let me ask you about your auctions. Did you pretty much start everything at something like a $9.99 or something like that? Or did you go through each one saying, this, I need to get this amount, this, I need to get this amount? Or are you just happy with just getting it out the door?
No, there's certain things I priced at $4.99 that I think are just crap. There's a bunch at $9. Most of them are at $9.99, but there's a few at like $14.99, $24.99. I think I have like 3 over $100. I think one I even have at like $249.99. And just see how it goes. I mean, really good suit, but I've had it probably 9 months, and it's like I got 2 of them. I got another one that's even better than that one. So it's like, hey, see what happens. I price at the lowest price one is sold, but I'll be happy. I have technically no money into it because I already sold one, and I've already sold a tie I picked up that day.
Yeah, well, typically people talk about losing money on stuff. I think that's a good point we can talk about because typically when we go out, if Ronnie goes out to the thrift store, okay, and he spends $150 and he finds 10 different items, okay, he lists a couple of them and he's already at $500, okay, on a couple of his items. So everything after that first item is literally positive. So if he sells one item that he was thinking hopefully he'd get $100 for, found out that, man, it's not really what I thought it was, and he sells it for $10, that's still $10 in the positive. He's not losing money on that, even though he may have paid for that item $14.99, or $20, and if he sells it for $10, because overall, it depends on how you want to look at it. If you look at things as group, if you have a receipt from a thrift store that you spent $150. Do you the overall picture at the end of the year, you're looking at, okay, this is what uh my expenses were, this is what my profits were. So it doesn't really get down to the piece by piece by piece. Yeah, I lost money on that piece, but I did really good money on this piece. It's not looked at it like that. So don't take the time and don't fret over losing money on something when chances are you already made that money 10 times over on the brothers and sisters of what purchased at that time. So
The brothers and sisters.
yeah, just because you had
Yeah,
to
it's just
abort.
buying. I mean, it just depends. I don't usually most of the stuff that's not selling is things I didn't pay that much for. There are things that I probably got on half off day that I probably should have just left behind in the first place because it's like, oh, that's the mindset sometimes I used to be in is I go into a store on half off day and be like, oh, but it's only $3. And then it's like sitting for a year, like
Yeah.
I got to get out of that mindset. And I've done that over the last year. We had some different bunch of questions. We'll catch up on the questions here. We had one from the Roundabout Thrift. Chanarani, do you sell locally on Facebook, OfferUp, etc.? I'll let you go first on that one.
Actually, Kim has been doing, watching Steve and Steph, the resale killers, because we've always concentrated on buying, sourcing on the local apps, and we do really well sourcing. But there's some things that, okay, for instance, all those lanterns, Ronnie, that we bought we got as part of that estate. There's like 25, 30 different railroad lanterns, nautical lanterns, and these are all old, right? Well, I pretty much sold the good ones, okay? And then we still had like 8 of them maybe out in the garage, to where I just didn't feel comfortable listing them on eBay. Man, she listed these things on the local app to OfferUp, and she's selling them for $25 a piece, which I was selling them on eBay for $24.99. And she's selling these things with defects for just as much money. And as soon as she's listing it, she's getting bombarded and she's selling them. So yeah, I'm like, oh, maybe you want to put this one thing on, so we're kind of getting into it. And, we've always used and abused the local apps to source from. And I'm like, I'm not going to give away my stuff on these apps, but we don't really have to. So, but they're selling at decent prices and people want them, especially when it's stuff you don't find every day, like these lanterns. So they're a big hit. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I do a little bit, but it's more Facebook oriented. I mostly sell like advertising and stuff like that. Like this, I just have this next to me. So
Wow.
my son. But that's about what I sell. I got rid of one today. This one is a keeper though. But that's about it. I mean, I sell mostly on Facebook though. I don't really sometimes on Craigslist, but I don't really deal with Craigslist. Craigslist, OfferUp, Let Go does not really work in our area where we live for whatever reason. It's just not really working that great, so I kind of stay away from it.
Yeah, I mean, Kim and guys, that just goes to show we're old dogs, and we're open to learning and trying new things. Absolutely. So, Chad, you need to get a Salt Life hat to wear. I've actually got one, and we've actually got stickers. But I asked somebody locally. I said, "Okay, what are all these damn Salt Life stickers?" They're like, "Well, Salt Life is people who like literally live on boats." And I'm like, "But these stickers are on freaking cars." So I'm like, yeah, it's just a thing. So, but no, I do have a really cool salty old guy shirt headed my way. Yeah.
Um,
Yes, we did Yahoo auctions back in the day.
Did you old dogs? Oh, I used to sell. I mean, it was back what 98, 99, somewhere around there. I remember because I was just like, hey, this is interesting. But yes, Bubba, it is flange. It's a flange line. It actually has a little bit of a. The flange is kind of broke a little bit. It's going to get welded. I don't know if you can see right there. It's cracked
Ooh,
about halfway up. I think a little weld fix it. So it's not really that big of a deal. The sign's a little on the rough side anyway, but it's
no,
coming up it's about early 20s, so it is a close, probably a 90, 100-year-old sign.
no salt life in Orlando. Orlando is landlocked. I don't know why. I mean, we live right on the beach, so there's a lot of people that are big into that, I guess. But yeah, Orlando's like landlocked. I mean, Orlando isn't connected to the ocean in any way, is it? It's like in the middle of the state, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Orlando's dead smack in the middle. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
watch out for the alligators down there, basically, in the lakes. Especially don't be wading in the water with your kids at Disney.
Dwayne said, "Oh, Utah is the ultimate salt life."
We are way okay. We have another one here. Do you guys ever think yard sales yourself is? Do you guys ever think yard sales are a waste of time?
No way. No way. I can't remember a time where we'd gone out on a Saturday morning and just didn't find anything. Now, I have gone out on a Saturday morning after a couple yard sales. I'm like, this can kind of go into the question somebody asked. I'm like, I don't even feel like doing this. I'm going home. And I think we both have done that. You know, I'm like, dude, I'm not even doing this. I'm going home.
Well, I think it depends on how your first few yard sales work out. If you're like behind the eight ball and you're just not getting anything right off the bat, sometimes it's just like, nah, I just change suit and do something else, or I'll grab breakfast and then be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do something else." You just know sometimes it's not gonna be. Then other days where I'm out there at 2, 3 o'clock finding stuff at 2, 3 o'clock, going all day, filling the truck, and it's like, holy cow, it's a really good day.
Yeah.
But let me
Do
see
you
what
guys
else.
ever get burnt out reselling? I think Ronnie
I
knows when I do.
I think everybody does this, especially if you do it full time. At some point, maybe you take a little break from it, but I think everybody at one point or another gets burnt out from reselling a little bit. That's why you take a vacation. Unfortunately, I take a vacation. I still thrift on my vacations and stuff like that. I was so happy when we went to Orlando to see yard sales again. It was like, oh, what is
Yeah.
this? There's a yard sale. The community that we rented the house in actually had a community yard sale. So I was driving around there in the morning. I was like, hell yeah, here we go.
Yes. And I can't believe anybody's ever said that Ronnie is just a quiet person on these videos. Ronnie has turned into a social butterfly, people. He is like just flapping his wings, just meeting new people and talking. And by the way, Ronnie, you've got 218 live viewers. So guys, give him some love and hit that like button. What's your
Hell
record,
yeah, hit
Ronnie?
the thumbs up. I don't know.
We'll say tonight is the record. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a feeling I've been over that, but I don't remember that kind of thing. I remember being on other people's shows more than mine
Yeah.
and getting that number. It's like, hey,
Isn't that typical? They get their records. You come on their channel and they get the records. You know, it's like, hold on a sec, something just isn't right about this.
uh,
Uh,
but it's a promotion thing.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
always fun.
Josh says, I remember the quiet Ronnie.
Dude, I wonder how many people in the chat remember that Ronnie didn't show his face during the videos.
Ronnie should have put drama in the title. You got 500 people in, right?
Ghost
Yeah.
number 2.
Oh,
We see. We had that one, that one, that one, that one.
yeah. There's people still
Okay.
picking up the parts from that last week, folks. They are still picking up the pieces.
it was one. Are you guys on mailing list for estate sales or just search? I go every week to was it auctionzip dot no, not auctionzip.com, estatesales.net,
Yep.
and then go to the map, pick in different areas. I look at about I look at all New England basically because I will drive 2-3 hours to go to a good enough estate sale. I've driven all the way back to Albany. We've driven up into New Hampshire and Maine for estate sales. And luckily, every time we went, we got good stuff. But also, going up there, make sure you know where there's map out other estate sales, map out other thrift stores, antique stores. So you know if you fail at that, you got other places to get stuff from, so it's not a total waste.
Yeah.
And we had another one here. Have you ever thought about working your own estate sale? This way you can get a hold of everything for yourself before the day. I think there's issues with that though because people
Yeah.
kind of want top dollar for their stuff. I know that's kind of more like a buying a estate out. Maybe you can do that, estate buyouts and stuff like that. But you got to probably take the good with the bad. Um, it's like a storage locker. You got to take usually everything.
Here, okay, guys, some major red flags and alarms should be sounding. If you're having an estate sale and you hire somebody and that person's trying to buy a bunch of crap off of you, okay, that it's not good business for an estate sale person to try to do that. But I mean, it would make me very. I wouldn't want to run an estate sale company. I know a couple people who do. Um, both of us know. I know one guy. Oh, and I can't remember his name. I'm Rick Relentless or something like that on Instagram. I believe he has an estate sale company, and um, I can't remember. It's not Mark that has the estate sale company we had on the show.
Yeah, Mark. Mark.
Okay,
With
yeah,
a North Shore picker.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think too many. Maybe every now and then, but I don't think people who put on estate sales are buying too much of the stuff up because, for one, if they're advertising it and it's not there the next day, you're going to tick off a bunch of people, especially if they are followers of that company and they go to these sales, they expect to see what's been advertised. So, yeah.
I've seen people come into a sale like 10 minutes late and not get an item that's advertised. Somebody else got it. They're 10 minutes late.
Oh,
100 people in the door already, and they're over there making a big stink. You guys sold that item. It's like, oh, you went here for a Nintendo that's in the box. Like, you still think that's going to be there 10 minutes in there with 100 resellers walking in the door? And it's priced at $30. Like, nope.
dude, I tell you what, though, I was that guy who drove from southern Indiana all the way up to mid Michigan for an Edison phonograph, the cylinder with the horn. I drove for a Saturday morning auction and got there. I couldn't find it. I'm like, where is it? I was there an hour before the auction even started. Where is it? Where is it? They're like, oh, I don't know. Well, let's ask around. And they're like, oh, a family member took it. I'm like, that ain't going to happen. Dude, I just drove from southern Indiana all the way up here, and I'm talking to the auctioneer people. And I'm like, he's more welcome to bid against me. I don't know. Many times I'm more of I understand, an understanding type thing. But that was the big draw for a lot of people. And I knew I had competition there. So they actually got a hold of the family member and they went and they brought it. And man, I do understand that. So it's not, I wasn't being a jerk, but you also got to understand if you advertise something, it better freaking be there, for
There's
the,
there's there's one in Albany, or it runs around that, like, uh I don't know what part of that region they called me, or Hudson Valley region, and they'll put on, you'll see the auction, and you could actually call up ahead of time and bid on stuff, and they will even sell stuff before the auction. And
What?
they'll put a line through the item sold.
That's messed up.
And I go, I could not deal with that company. I could not deal with, like, I don't want to deal with that company. Like, straight out, like, that is not the company I want to deal with. You know, it's just, that's too crazy. Like, how could that be like that?
That's messed up. And that is, to me, that's oh, what do they call it? Not morally, but it's
Shady as fuck.
well, yeah. Other than that, yeah. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
goes
that's
my
messed
video. It's not
up.
gonna get monetized.
Dude, I thought mine was not going to get monetized too, but you know, my hour and a half rant, they tried, but it ended up getting monetized with all of that in it. So
Yeah,
unethical. Yeah, there you go. Unethical.
when
Thanks, Adam.
Krillin asked if I'd get a sign restored or just keep it original. I like a sign's original. I don't like restored. I think restored signs,
Well,
it's like, you might as well just buy a fake
a,
sign. Go down to Hobby Lobby and buy yourself a sign.
a
I don't like
store
it.
like that, a sign like that, the porcelain sign, you would literally, it would be just a remake because you would just be remaking it because you would have to literally strip it down to its piece of metal and
They
start
touched
over.
up this one too, though. They touched it up. I seen it, and I'm gonna strip it down eventually. But you can see on the front here, like right here, all this white.
Oh yeah.
It's touched up. It looks like it. But I'll take some acid or something, or paint remover, and I'll mess with that in this
Yeah.
summer or something. I ain't gonna mess with it anytime soon. I have no interest in messing with it now.
Yeah,
Um,
Ronnie and I are experimenting with some new sourcing uh, avenues, and once we see that they're beneficial, we will share them with everybody. But we're not going to send people down that road until we see that it's working out. So,
I'm really
but
not
yes,
impressed with them, to tell you the truth. No, I'm gonna talk to you later about that.
yeah.
But we do have a lot. We have a shitload of questions over here. Um, Ronnie, ever come across vintage clothing from the Victoria era? No, I haven't. Here's something from Mothership Products, Dwayne. What is the oldest item you've ever found or sold? I guess you could say too.
Other than stuff like books and stuff like that, um, I've dealt in the Indian War stuff like McKeever cartridge boxes, stuff like that, 1800 stuff. Quite up in Indiana, we would deal in quite a bit of 1800s era household stuff, believe it or not. Um, Old mercantile stuff from back in the 1800s, like the stuff that the little, you know, nowadays you have that thing you can squeeze the button or squeeze the handle and it's a grabber, you know, with on a pole, you know, the grabber.
Yeah,
Well, back in the 1800s at the mercantile, they had these, it's actually a wooden rod with two forged metal fingers on it, literally the same thing. And stuff like that I would sell all the time, and that's the kind of stuff that we'd find up in Indiana all the time. World War I stuff, uh, all kinds of stuff like that up in Indiana.
yeah. I think the oldest thing I've ever sold was some Griswold pans that were probably like around the turn of the century. And you can tell by the logos how
Yeah.
big the logo is and everything like that. If it's slanted, if it's not slanted, the small ones are later. I did a whole video on that.
Is there a troll? Do we need a wrench? I'm a wrench. You need to put some people you trust as wrenches
I don't trust.
so they can watch out for
Nah,
us.
I
I
didn't
don't
see
trust
anybody.
anybody. Yeah.
uh,
Who needs
that's just so.
wrenched? I will wrench the shit out of somebody.
I don't. I didn't see anything, but the chat was going by kind of quickly. But let me see here.
Any issues with fakes at auctions? I've been to a couple times. A World War II helmet. Tell you what, guys, yes, there are issues with fakes, and the auctioneer will tell you it's not his job to decide whether it's real or fake. If somebody says that isn't real, he'll go, okay, then we're selling it as something like type. They don't care. They're not held to any type of standard. They will auction it off. If it looks like a damn Griswold pan, then he's going to sell it as a Griswold pan. And it's up to you to know whether it's fake or really a Griswold pan or not.
Yeah, I mean, Griswold pans, there's some of them that are fake. It's pretty easy to kind of fake them. You just have to find a mold and,
Yeah.
they do it. But more so with signs of the biggest thing recently, like in advertising, is crazy. Like even it's just crazy. They're popping up everywhere. You go on eBay. eBay is probably 95% or more fakes on eBay. There's no one controlling it either. It's just all out chaos. I mean, there was somebody on somebody's other channel a while back, and they sell fake signs, and they were like, "Oh, we sell antiques." It's like, no, you don't. Oh, I tracked
Yeah.
your account. You don't sell antiques. Sorry to bring it to you. I was kind of surprised, but it's what happens in this world.
Yeah.
But
But once the word starts spreading that somebody's a fraud, it picks up steam pretty damn quick. I'm telling you. And that's the
it's
last thing I would want is somebody, if I was a fraud selling fake stuff, that's is the biggest thing that will end you is spread a word by mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some videos coming up soon how to tell the difference and go on eBay and kind of pinpoint people in the right direction. Um, Number one, don't buy anything on eBay unless you really know. I belong to a bunch of Facebook groups that deal with sign collecting, and I don't know how many people like they buy something and then they realize they're getting a good deal on it. They get it and they realize, well, this is not really looks funny, and they pay a lot of people pay some good money. I've seen people spend over 1,000 or more dollars on things, and it's hard because it turns somebody away from collecting. That's why they got into it, you know.
Yeah.
But also, it's a thing of greed too because they see people selling the sign, and they a lot of the time they think they can go and flip the sign and make money on it, and they don't really know nothing about it. So it's definitely you have to really watch yourself and be careful and get into it. I've been fooled almost at Brimfield. I mean, the guy's selling fake signs, and I knew from the price, like sign should be about 3 grand. It's $900, and it's
Yeah.
perfect. I'm like, and I was rubbing. I wanted the sign because I've been wanting the sign, but I was like, I just looking at the detail. I kept on rubbing my hand down and up and down the sign. It's probably like a 22-inch sign or 24-inch sign, and I could just tell that this shelving did not feel right. The porcelain on it didn't feel right. It just it in the lettering and everything, and then looking at the detail, it just didn't look right. And the guy, oh, that's that's a good one. I'm like, no, it's not, buddy. I'm sorry to tell you. And they throw in a few real signs to catch you off guard, you know. And what are you gonna do? You buy something from somebody like that, you turn down a few days later, and it's gone. Like, you're not gonna be able to get your money back from one of these guys.
Yeah.
So our troll is gone. Bye. There was another question here. What would you think of an auction house that bids on their own stuff? I think it's getting a little old.
How
If
many
auction
auction
house,
houses are bidding on their own stuff? I just can't see that happening. While there might be somebody from the auction house doing like a proxy bid for somebody else, I most auction houses has a policy against, you know, the auction house bidding on their own stuff. I've seen like the ring guys, who get paid $7 an hour to, hold the stuff up, Yeah, I want to, bid on that. That's one thing. But the auction house bidding, you can't and be a legitimate auction house. You can't.
Unfortunately, I mean, I think it does happen. I mean, I always tell the story. I was at a car auction in Boston, and I'm bidding against a damn Coke machine. I swear to God, I was bidding against a damn Coke machine. The guy kept on looking to the side of me, and there was nobody behind me because I always like being in the back. I could see everybody in the front. Who's bidding on what? There's nobody raising their hand. Somehow the price is going up still.
Yeah, it's called ghost bidding. You
Only
have to,
thing next to me was a Coke machine. I was like, "Yo, I don't think that's bidding."
yeah.
Uh,
You have to be able to know what's going on around you when an auctioneer is, he's taking 20, taking 20, taking 20, and all of a sudden he's taking 25. He'll just jump it. That's a ghost bid. Nobody bid on it, but he's acting like somebody did, and he just jumps it. It's a ghost bid. And so, and they'll do that, and you'll bid, and then he'll bid against you, even though there's nobody actually bidding against you. It's a ghost bid, and what he'll do is he'll do that because, in theory, the more money the item sells for, the more money he makes. So that's just a little trick, an unethical trick that auctioneers do. But you have to be ready to call them on it. Yeah,
I
go
get
ahead.
driven by crazy by real fast speaking auctioneers. The ones that you can't even understand what they're saying, and it's like, wait, do I even have the bid, or someone else have the bid? Like, who got the bid?
Dude, whenever I've been that way, I'm like, stop. Where are we at? And he'll say, we're with him for $24.99 or $25, or whatever. I'm like, okay, good. And then he'll start up again. But yeah, don't hesitate to stop. Where are we at? If you ever wondering where you are, just do
That
that.
used to only happen with the car auctions. I swear to God, they do it on purpose. It's never happened like at a real auction house, like where somebody's going crazy like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just put my number up.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that one.
Speaking
There
of
was another one
auctions,
here. Oh, no.
Mothership Products has auctions on Saturday night on his YouTube channel. It's Mothership Products. Check it out. It's really fun. I know we raised over $3,500 last Saturday. So it's fun. And if you want to have yourself auctioned off, just get with him and will get you in the schedule. Cool stuff. He's here in the chat too. So hit him up. Go subscribe to his channel.
Yes, he needs to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
See there, yeah. What do you have to win? We had one here. We had a question. Would you guys recommend for new sellers to stay with one niche or to sell all sorts of items?
You want me to take this first?
Yeah, why don't you can take it first.
Guys, no matter how new you are, okay, even if you go by the advice of everybody out there, they say sell everything in your house. You're not concentrating on one thing, are you? No, you're concentrating on everything in your house. I will never. While you can concentrate on something to educate yourself on, to get very good, very proficient in that certain area, you're only limiting yourself on your growth if you don't look outside and concentrate on several things. For instance, anything that'll make you freaking money, especially if you're new. Okay. Where if you want to become very proficient and become an expert in something, that's later down the line. It really is. But if you need to make freaking money, okay, what good does it do you if you're new into reselling? And and this is an opinion thing, so there's several people that I'm sure that we could have a debate about. But the way I look at it, you're somebody new. What good is it if you go into a thrift store and only look at freaking shoes? Okay. And concentrate on shoes. That's all you're going to sell. When there could be a pair of pants there that can make you a lot of money. There could be a shirt there that's going to make you a lot of money. There could be a set of speakers over in electronics that can make you a lot of money. So concentrating on just shoes when typically a new person that's getting into reselling needs to make freaking money. Okay. While it would be nice to be able to concentrate on one thing. And, I really want to get good at selling vintage taxidermy eyes. Later on you can put more time into learning about it. Now you need to be worrying about buying items and flipping items and making money, buying items and flipping items and making money. Maximizing the use of your time in a thrift store. That's not just going in and look at shoes and find one pair of shoes. Look through the pants. Be learning as you're doing your job. That's what it's about. So no, I don't think you should niche up into one thing and become an absolute professional on it, because by the time you become a professional on something, crap's changed. So that's my opinion. Maybe I don't know. That's my opinion. Go ahead.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, the argument to that is if you specialize and find better and better sources for shoes and chasing random items. But let me explain something to you. The random items are what's going to make you money every single day. Okay. If you want to specialize in shoes, great, do it. But if you can't make $100 a day in shoes, then why are you specializing in them? Okay. You need to be, it's almost like, you want to become an accountant. Okay. So while you're learning to become an accountant, you're working at freaking McDonald's. You're paying the bills. Okay. If that makes any sense. So if you want to narrow down your niche into something, that should come later while you're paying the bills. It's like learn while you work. If you want to start out niching up into something, then you're destined to fail, because only people who know a lot about a certain niche succeed in that niche, if that makes any sense. So if you're a beginner, if you think you're going to be running with the big dogs in that niche, then your bills are going to pile up on you. And like I said, I'm talking to the new sellers, because that's normally the people who ask that type of stuff. So if you want to niche up later on, fine. But you have to pay the bills while you're learning this niche.
It's definitely, when I started, I went after everything. I just, I would look up everything. Thank God for a smartphone, eBay app. Scan it on Amazon. I would figure out what just looked interesting. It took me a while to even get into clothing. And then once I got into clothing, I kind of perfected clothing. But if you ever look kind of my sales update video, they're a lot of it is clothing, but there's a lot of different things every month. And I try to break it down and just show different things. It's just, I don't specify with anything in particular. It's just, I'm going to go after anything that makes my money, unless I think it's too much of a pain in the ass to ship.
Yeah, specialize. It's fine and great, guys, if you want to specialize in shoes, but finding 100 pair of sellable shoes in a week, good luck to you. Good luck.
I think it just depends on where you are. Some people do well with that. I can't do well with that. Because on my end, I barely find shoes that are good. And there are stores that are more expensive. Our stores, I would say, on average, a pair of shoes would cost me $10 to $15. So for me, shoes got to bring at least $75. unless I'm buying them for like $5 or $10, then I may go 50. You know, and it just depends on the brand, the make, the model, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Here's a good question, Ronnie.
Uh,
What what would be your advice for a one-man woman show who is selling on eBay as far as not wasting time?
don't make YouTube.
don't make YouTube videos.
Don't make YouTube videos. Don't post on Facebook. Turn that app off all day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. It's
Um, Social media is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing if you don't use it correctly.
I think my advice to somebody that's a one-man show, and I'm assuming you're bringing up a one-man show because you're not paying somebody to list stuff for you. You're not paying somebody to source for you and stuff like that. You're doing it all yourself. What I would recommend, and ultimately it would be not a waste of time, is if you go thrifting, okay? If you go thrifting,
Uh,
you get it listed before you go thrifting again. Preferably, if you go thrifting, uh, garage selling, or anything like that, you should try to get that listed that day. It, if that makes any sense. I really think. And now let's talk about do as I do, or do as I say, not as I do, because I can be one of the worst people are doing that. But also at the same note, I've been so excited about stuff I've gotten that I came home and I listed it immediately. But ultimately, I think if you go out sourcing and you buy stuff, I think that you need to get it listed before you go sourcing again. Period. Because if you don't, then you're going to create the start of a death pile. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go sourcing the next day, then because we list things that we like, we list things we're excited about, we list things that we think is going to do well. Okay. So if you go sourcing and you don't list anything that day, you go sourcing the next day, you're like, oh, I got some cool stuff, I'm going to list that stuff. So that stuff you got the day before is still sitting there. Okay. And then you go out the next day, then you find stuff. So you list that, and some of the stuff that you don't list, it ends up going in the pile. And that's how death piles are actually created. So if you're going to source it, list it. And you need to do it within a reasonable amount of time, like that day.
I mean, I know with us, everything we get other than this damn printer, and I'm going to bring up that printer because I'm hope somebody's listening in the other room and is going to get that printer figured out, or I'm just going to sell it for parts. But it's just that you know, I get stuff, it gets listed fairly quickly. Like nothing, stuff gets listed usually within a week. Usually when I get an item, I get drafts made up, so it's just waiting on pictures for when my wife gets them done. You know, she usually does pictures 1 or 2 days, and that's usually, you know, we build up stuff. She takes the pictures then, and then we go about getting it done. But yes, Pete
Yeah.
has told us all that there is no money in reselling, so we
Yeah.
need to go do
He
something
always
else.
says that whenever he comes into one of our shows. There's nothing to see here. Look on. Yeah. Oh, and there was a point I was wanting to make. Oh, and I can't remember it. Um, oh, another big example, because I saw somebody asking the college picker, which is a good guy. Guys, if you don't follow him, you really need to. He's a very good guy. He's a humble guy, and he's knowledgeable, plain and simple. And he likes to travel and do all kinds of stuff. But somebody asked him, "How big does your store have to be to make $250,000 a year?" And I think questions like that are okay, but I think they're it's directed in the wrong way, because so many people, um, because a lot of times when they're asking these questions, they're doing it in a manner of they're like, okay, so where do I need to be to be able to do this? And never, guys, it's okay to wonder what somebody's doing or stuff like that, but never compare your success or your growth or anything else by another reseller or somebody else's success. And College Picker, I'm talking about him. And what do you think about that? Do you agree? Especially somebody new, you cannot. Uh, I wasn't reading your question wrong, Resell Rockefeller. I just took the
Well, I think maybe you
opportunity.
did read it.
Yeah, I knew what
Is
you
it,
were asking, but I
do you
because a lot of
honestly think buying from a Goodwill bins and reselling on eBay is actually a profitable, expandable, successful business model? And I think College Picker was given his.
yeah,
I think they were having a conversation because I was trying to pay attention to the chat, but I was kind of getting lost. It was moving a little too quick. I mean, I know for myself, I went to some of the bins on the way to Florida. We stopped in Fredericksburg by accident at one, and I say by accident because they were not on my list. They didn't say they were bins. I just happened to roll up, and they happened to be bins. One was in Lakeland, I think, Florida. Tampa, Florida. There was one by the airport. Let me see where else. There was someone. Oh, Savannah. And I just don't like the bins, dude. They don't go work for me. Um, I mean, if you go into the bins, most of the time, as we've seen from most of the resellers that go to the bin, it's buy for $1, sell for 15, offer free shipping. So if you're gonna build it and scalable and really get it to, I don't know where you'd have to be 100,000, you profit what 40 maybe 35 after taxes and everything. To do that, I mean, you're looking at selling a lot of items. That's a lot of pictures, a lot of stuff getting mailed out every day. It's not for everybody, but some people make it work, and it's just what you like to do. I don't think there's any good or bad way to do it, but we see people do it here all the time. They go to the bins, they
yeah,
shop, and they make it happen.
yeah. The College Picker says the bins are a grind. You are there. You wait for bins. You got you you go back the next day. It's a lot of time effort. It's a huge volume game to scale from the bins. Sounds good. I can't comment on it because I have never been to the bins and I have no desire to go to the damn bins. Maybe one day I'll do it just to experience it. Just to experience it.
It's definitely This has been a long night. That's all I can say. We've been
Yeah.
on for a little bit longer than normal.
It's really cool that everybody came out tonight. Awesome. For the 2018 Pickers Church.
Yeah, I think we only took about 6 months off.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey.
still trying to figure out how to bring Square back in the deal. Square, where you at, homie?
Yeah. Yeah, like
uh,
everything else, guys. Bins, it might be uh, a fit for you and might not be a fit for some. It's just all about whether or not I don't know. We're all different. We all run different plans, and if you haven't tried it, my advice would be to try it. Give it a shot. Who knows?
when I was
Um,
going to the bins, we were in, I think it was Lakeland. I think that was the one I went to by myself because we were going around Orlando. I dropped Gretchen off. Then I went to like Lakeland area, and there was another town. I don't remember the name of it though now. And as I almost went to Tampa by myself, and I was just like looking for something to do. And went into the bins because I always stroll in there just to see what's going on, and I'll leave. Sometimes this lady was picking up like a handful. They hit that thing. And I see them all line up, and I'm watching them, and I'm going through some of the scraps they left behind. I just see like two ladies take handfuls, of stuff and take it over to their cart, dropping it, and then running back over and taking more handfuls. And then they're gonna go through it when it's in their cart and then throw back whatever they don't want. And I'm like, that is
Yeah.
just like.
No, no.
I went to the one in Boston. The one in Boston is next to the big store. It's actually really small. I think it's the smallest one. I mean, unfortunately, that I've ever been to of bins, and I've been to the one in Portland, Oregon. The one in Portland, Oregon was kind of large. I actually went there, what was it, 2 years ago on New Year's Day. Once again, by accident, I didn't know that's what it was. I stroll up, I'm like, oh, this is a big Goodwill. All of a sudden, it's like outlet. I'm like, I'm here. Uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but there's one in Hudson, New Hampshire. I've never been to that one yet. But
Oh well.
any last words there, Mr. Chad, before we sign off?
No. Well, yeah, actually. Wish everybody all the best in 2018. And one thing to remember, and it's one thing I encourage everybody to do, at least once a day, say something nice to somebody or do something nice for somebody, and it'll make your day a whole hell of a lot better.
Right
I'm
on.
done.
Uh, just to answer Bargain Shopping's question, it's on the Harrison Avenue. Goodwill. It's on the left side of the building. They have a outlet, but that's it. Small, but be nice, have fun. See you guys next week. No, see you guys Friday, right? We're gonna do the show Friday night on your channel.
Yep.
So see you guys 8 o'clock Eastern. No, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah. 8 Central.
Golden Finger Pickers channel. If you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to that old salty bag.
Hold on.
We'll see you
Today's
guys.
today's Tuesday, so you never know. I may just go off or something between now and Friday. You never know. Me being all salty and shit.
Thanks for the super chat again. But all right. Have a good day, everybody. See you guys later.
Thanks, guys. Come and see us.